UFC is finally returning this weekend with Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker 2, and I'm going to be going over the card and giving my predictions. I'm not going to go into the prelims too in detail, but I will give you my winners for each one. I think Joshua Van, he's a very good young fighter, 22 years old, showing a lot, and I just think he's better. I got Tom Nolan over Nicholas Mota. Tom Nolan's he looked good on the Contender Series, so I think I'm going to ride with him. From the small sample size that I have, he looks really good. Gene Silva, he's a minus 900. I don't know anything about him. Fareed Basharat, Taylor Lapulus. I'm going to go Basharat. I could also see Lapulus winning this, but I'm going to go Basharat in this matchup. Just think he's going to win by, not wet blanket, but he's going to win by control and other things like that, taking him down. Marcus McGee, I got him winning versus Gaston Bolanos. McGee's sick. He's got good punches. Same with the next guy, Matthew Semmelsberger. I got him over Preston Parsons. And I got Waldo Cortez Acosta. I don't know if that's exactly the prelims. That might have been the first matchup, so I'll talk about that one first. I got Waldo Cortez Acosta. He's got the age. Striking, it's okay from him. He's not the world's best striker, but I'll give him the advantage on that. Arlovsky's 44. He's been knocked out many times. I know Waldo's not known as a knockout artist, but I think he can get this one done by decision or knockout. Bruno Ferreira versus Phil Haas. I want to pick Phil Haas. I do. But, man, he's been knocked out too many times in a row, and his chin is just deteriorating by the second. But Bruno Ferreira, kind of the same deal, kind of a little bit. But I take Ferreira in that matchup. He's beaten some decent guys. There's one name on the tip of my tongue. I just can't figure out who he beat. Gregory Rodriguez, that's right. He was on the streak. He was had a good knockout over him on that Brazil card this year. So, yeah. I'm going to go with him by knockout. I just don't trust Phil Haas. The matchup I'm most excited for outside of the main event, Ricky Simon versus Mario Batista. Last fight that Mario Batista had, he lost to Devon Blackshear. I watched in real time when I was watching with people. No one batted an eye to the decision. I thought I was the only one that thought that way. But a lot of people do. A lot of people thought, he robbed Devon Blackshear, but I don't think he has gotten himself to that point yet where he is deserving. Not saying Simone's this big name. I'm not saying that at all. But this matchup, you get a fluke win like that, I'd say just stick around where you're at. Fight again. If you win, go up. But I see what they're trying to do with him. He's on a win streak, so I get it. But I'm going to go with Simone. I think his wrestling is pretty underrated. He's got all right striking. Nothing to be, ashamed of. But, it's not that good. Let's be real here. He's more of a takedown guy, and I think he'll get the takedowns. I do think he'll out-grapple him. It's a 3-rounder. So, I think he can control wrestle for 3 rounds to win a decision like that. Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benitez. I was thinking about this a lot. A lot of people are going Jim Miller in this matchup, and I understand. He's a bigger name. I'm leaning that way too, but if we're going to give an official prediction, I guess I might. It's close, but I might favor Jim Miller as well. That's the only thing I'm trying to say, right? Is I think Jim Miller is still fast, still powerful at 39, 40 years old. Crazy how that is still translating for him, and he's still getting wins, big wins, So I think he's going to go out there, and I think he's going to either knock him out in the second or the third. I think he's just going to wear on him. He's been beat before by KO, and I think Jim Miller's got a style to beat him into those later rounds and KO him or TKO him. So I'm going to go Jim Miller. Round 2 or 3 TKO. And I have Simone by decision. Bruno Ferreira by knockout. Cortez Acosta by knockout as well. And then Mateusz Nicolau versus Manel Kape. Give me Manel Kape. Look at the last 2 performances both these guys had. Nicolau got knocked out by Royval, and Manel Kape styled on Dos Santos. I know it was just Dos Santos, and he's unranked, first fight in the UFC. But I just think one's surging, one's plummeting, and that's why this matchup is what it is. And I will take Kape, because I think the UFC sees, okay, this guy, he's good. So we want to give him favorable matchups, give him matchups that will boost him up, because they want him to be up. And yeah, they fought before. Nicolau won, but I think Kape is a lot better. I do think he's a lot better. He moves a little bit better now. He's a better striker than he was. Wrestling defense a lot better. So I'm going to go with him in that matchup. And yeah, I'm going to pick him by round 2 knockout. I'll go with that. All right, and for the main event, we got Johnny Walker versus Magomed Ankalaev 2. But let's just be real, that first fight was a little weird. But in this matchup, I'm going to go with Magomed Ankalaev. Why am I going with him? I just think he's the better overall fighter than Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker really hasn't done much at all recently. And that's why I'm just, I mean, you beat Anthony Smith. Look what happened to him. Got demolished. Magomed Ankalaev was fighting for the belt. And then he fought you. And that's how that happened. But yeah, I think his skill's better. He could be champion right now, realistically, if you score that for him in that fight, in that draw. But I think he'll win this fight, and then he'll fight for the title next. Not next, but he'll be close. I think they'll give Jamal Hill the shot, then Magomed after. But Magomed is very skilled for his size, and that area of Dagestan, they're known as wrestlers. Magomed is very good in the stand-up game. He's slick. His combinations are good. He can put it all together. So I think that is going to exploit what Johnny Walker is not good at, and that's taking a shot. Magomed can put it on you with a jab and a 2, all day. He'll hit you with hooks, and they're going to get through because he's accurate. And the question is Johnny Walker going to react to all those strikes? And I think he will. I think he will react to the strikes. I do think they will get to him. I do think he'll get outpaced. They say how Johnny Walker now has, like, cardio. He slowed down on the Anthony Smith fight from throwing leg kicks. Like, that shouldn't take the wind out of your sails. If anything, you should be more revived, because you're not making big explosive movements with your body. You're more just making like a leg turn. Maybe your hips, but I couldn't see how that could affect him. And I think Magomed showed a lot in that Yan fight, that he has good cardio. He can go 5 rounds. And Johnny Walker needs to knock him out. And I don't think Magomed's going to allow him to. I think his defense is going to be solid. I think he's going to be there all night. It's going to be a boring fight. Potentially. Only if Magomed presses the gas early and often on him. Put him on the back foot. Then it could be very entertaining. If he's sitting back and piecing him up for 5 rounds, not really doing much, then it'll be a bad fight. But I do think he'll get it done. I think he'll get it by either submission or ground and pound in round 3 or 4. I think he'll put it on him early. I think he'll win round 1. Walker might steal round 2, but even then, I think he'll win first 2 rounds. And then, if it is 3rd round and Johnny doesn't look good, I think he might just put him out of his misery, choke him out, or punch him. Yeah, I don't see Johnny Walker surviving 25 minutes with Magomed. He can, unless he does, what I told him to, Magomed, to pressure, to put him on the back foot, to throw with intention, ragdoll him. Because Johnny Walker can be ragdolled. He's not this amazing grappler. He can get to him. Magomed, with his background, I'm sure he could. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Glad to have the UFC back at the face cam for you folks. So that'll be something new for all my videos. And yeah, looking forward to it. I'm going to be doing a little video, two little videos here soon. So you won't have to worry about no break. We're just going to be full go from there. All right. Peace.